Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we have a grand campaign for you. I wanted to let you know they recorded a little podcast of them talking about the grand campaign and more. I'll link that in the description and have that in a pinned comment. It is a very good watch. But for today's fight, our first round, the campaigns are going to switch sides. The Iron Brigade is going to lead the Union campaign on the CSA side, and the 12th Virginia is going to lead the CSA campaign on the Union side on Roulette Lane. And then our second round is going to be a fun round on the Stefan's lot. Apparently Union has one token left, so I think that's why they're doing one battle. But before we get into this, thank you to our YouTube members for the support. If you'd like to support, go beneath the video and hit the join button. By doing so, you can get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment in the bottom of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. Our regiments for today, on the CSA campaign side, you have Colquitt's Brigade, 11th Mississippi, Hampton's Legion, 12th Virginia, Pickett's Brigade, 11th Pennsylvania, and the 1st Delaware. And then on the Union side, Union campaign rather, you have the 42nd Pennsylvania, Corn Brigade, Iron Brigade, Free States Brigade, 9th Corps, Midwest Brigade, Davis Brigade, Alabama Volunteer Corps, 1st Kentucky, and the Irish Volunteer Brigade. Remember, these sides are flipped for round 1, and then they're going to flip back to their appropriate side for round 2. Server pop today, it is currently 245. Imbalance is 7 towards the Union side, which Union does have artillery. They'll take 10. CSA doesn't have any. So this imbalance right now, which has gotten a little bigger actually, it's 11 now. It's a one-man infantry imbalance in favor of the Union side, considering artillery into the mix. Frontline reporters today on our Union campaign side for CSA round 1. You have Lucian from the Iron Brigade, and then on the opposite side, our CSA campaign representative who's on Union this round. You have Doug from the Colquitt's Brigade. Appreciate these guys so we can see what's going on the ground while also seeing what's going on in the sky. So, Roulette Lane, it is a 44% ticket advantage to the attacking CSA side, and the strategy for CSA, it's relatively simple. Union's got a nice defensive line, kind of like this L here, alongside the point, which is kind of in this road here, and CSA just has to break it one way or another. Now, generally, you'll see CSA go up this far Union right side, hit the far right of the Union. They can't go any further out. I assume Union would go out further if they could, or CSA will have to go straight up the center here. You don't normally see CSA charging across this side just because of how much more wide open it is. It looks wide open over here, but I'll have you note that there is a little bit, it's steep here, right? So CSA can use the defilade cover as a way to attack. Now, Union's job is very simple. Do not lose this defensive line. The defensive line here can't be lost. If CSA takes any point of this and is able to get a foothold, most of the time, it's pretty over for Union. But with this recent ballistics update, with the guns being at a minimum 60% more accurate, the defenders have a really good shot at things. CSA starting to move out. They went a long way around trying to avoid taking as many casualties as possible. Weapons on this map. Speaking of that, 1st Delaware for the Union side, they've got the Enfield. They also have the 14th Indiana, the Union does, with the Springfield 61. And then the CSA attack, they've got the 3rd Arkansas with the option of the Enfield and the Springfield 42. So bucket ball, and then the 27th North Carolina is on the CSA side with the option of the Springfield 55, the Enfield, and the 42. So CSA in its entirety is bucketball. Who knows if they'll take it? I'm sure they're going to need it at the close range engagement when they do eventually charge. But as mentioned, CSA like to use this defilade here as a staging ground, also to kind of get into shootout with the Union. Now, the issue being with this increased accuracy update, it's going to be a lot easier to hit the heads of players. I mean, it's kind of, it might be a little difficult to see, but I mean, you could see CSA somewhat defilated. These guys on the right here are a little too far out, but that's something you got to pay attention to when you're in a defilade. I almost wonder what would happen if this map boundaries were expanded out to this way, because as we've seen the ever-increasing server population, things have become more increasingly difficult for the attackers, even before the ballistics update. So I almost wonder how different the map would be if the boundaries expanded out this way a little bit, because CSA could maybe try to run around to this hill here. It would spread the Union out more. I think that'd be a nice little alternative there. But I like that CSA. You might be wondering, why do they have guys back here? DB, AVC. You got 42nd PA and 30th Ohio over here. You're like, why are these guys over here? They're to die to the artillery. No. Geez, nice shots from Union artillery. To prevent this, Union will like to push up here. They also like to get up into the stone wall here and kind of get a pincer on the CSA. And Union, with those well-timed artillery shots, are going to move out now and get that pincer that they want. Also having guys kind of in their rear to secure that, which they will. We'll have to watch about these flanking shots, but, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world. As long as you can kind of keep CSA contained in that open area, you know, you're doing good. And you can see already by the tickets already that Union's doing great. Again, 44% ticketed map in favor of the CSA side. And that's not an easy amount to overcome.
Prioritize shooting. Look at your right.
You're messing them up, boy. You keep aiming low. You're shooting downhill out. Keep aiming low.
They're getting absolute fucking shooting.
So that's almost the difficult part for CSA is, especially since this update, it's been very difficult for CSA to hold that def flame. So I almost wonder if CSA should just try to charge right away and not even try to hold in the open field in kind of a shootout scenario. Now, I mean, they'll still have to take a lot of hits charging up the hill, and you'll see a lot of times when CSA charges the whole team on one of the Union flanks, you usually don't see CSA charge straight in the center because that's the most exposed position. But also, if you charge open the field into the center of the line, people spread out more, trying to go for different parts of the line. It can just create chaos. But you'll generally see charges happen on the flanks, and a lot of the defense comes down to how fast can they respond. Now, luckily for the Union, it's a pretty condensed defensive line here. Union, in theory, should be able to respond quickly to any movement from the CSA in terms of a charge. At least that's something you would hope. And that's why you see sometimes when CSA charges, they'll do a two-little pronged attack. They'll send the prong up top, and then they'll send the prong in the center, kind of trying to confuse the Union. But what normally happens in those charges is Union reacts to one flank they collapse in, and since they're only collapsing in on half the CSA team that charges a flank, then they can easily wipe the CSA up here. Then they turn their attention to the other flank down here, and then they wipe that. So I almost wonder if CSA tries to do a two-pronged attack. They send all the flags down one of the ways, maybe a little delayed, like split up your team, right? Send half this way, send the other half over here, and then keep all 4 flags behind the barn, and then send them up like 15 seconds after the charge starts. Because if Union takes the bait and goes up here completely, CSA could run all their flags down there. Anyways, that's a bit of just talking strategy. Nothing too crazy with our match here, especially since CSA's kind of pulled back. I have seen that the CSA side has been able to win a shootout on this map, and it actually had impact on the ticket results, which you didn't really see before the update. You usually don't see that with maps. So CSA, they charged a little early. Maybe not a charge per se. Definitely not a charge, but CSA could definitely try to do a shootout if they want. They either got to do a shootout from a distance or charge in. You can't sit in the middle open field here. That doesn't work. It's already shot. So officers have a Steam chat, so they can communicate if they want. Here comes CSA. The thing is right, the problem for CSA is Union's going to see them wherever they go, unless they go around this way, which you can see Union already has gotten plenty of great shots on them. With that being said, here comes CSA. Union's starting to react, moving down the hill. You can see they're moving on the opposite side of the snake fence in the open field, trying to get behind the CSA where those flags are. And even if it doesn't work for CSA, they can try to get a ticket lead from this if possible. It's hard to tell what's going on with the smoke. CSA, though, kind of getting surrounded here, scrunched up in the center. Flags have to watch out. And CSA will drop to engage. Each side losing about a half morale stage in this charge. And Union's going to be able to hold this charge. And, you know, oh, Union already just team killed like 6 guys. But Union will prevail in the end. Tickets are, they look a little closer. They could potentially be. The bars are longer than what we see, so maybe the tickets are the same. I guess we'll have to see when both sides get through engaged if that is the case. However, I mean, overall, that was a good charge for CSA. CSA didn't lose tickets on that charge, which is a good thing. And you got some Union going really far forward HL here. Maybe trying to get the remnants of the CSA guys, maybe get a flag if possible. Just got to risk. I mean, there's not a lot of CSA here, but you don't want to risk overextending too far and then, you know, maybe there's a small CSA force and you get wiped here. Those are just tickets you can't afford as Union, right? They've had a great start, Union has, but, or rather CSA campaign, but you don't want to make a mistake. You got a little tango going on here. Ghost wins for PB. Going in for Kenny, gets the second kill. Could have definitely gotten more before we watched. Are there any more CSA over here? There's two. Oh. Now, will he be team killed? The $1 trillion question. Probably not. So, yeah, no. Good little hold from Union, but CSA, that I think that's exactly what you want as CSA, right? The tickets 100% could have gotten closer because of that charge, which is really what you want as attacker. You don't really need to win grounded War of Rights. You just need to deal a ticket loss. Now, obviously, a lot of that's going to depend on time, but there's a lot of time left in the game, so they can afford to not gain ground. And I mean, when you gain ground on this map, most of the time you're just winning on the point, so it's not necessarily a necessity. So, yeah, tickets definitely got closer, which is great for the attackers. And that's really all you can ask for. And you really start to question, on top of this match we've seen here so far in previous Roulette Lane, CSA running up here and sitting kind of in the open field and shooting. Yeah, I wonder if that's even a valid strategy anymore. I don't know if it is. Because Union could just get great shots on you or outflank you by running down there. So, if I were CSA, I would just group up and go in again. Because if it made the tickets even by a little bit, right, if you do that a few times, eventually that'll start showing they'll show a large impact. It's like, you know, you get someone that Rambos a fair amount and they die once or twice. You know, Ramboing on its own individually may not be a terrible thing for your team, but if that same person or group of people Rambos a lot, then that can add up and really impact you in the end. So, CSA grouping up, I bet they're going to charge. They just got to watch out for the Union artillery, which has been really locked in. You can see they're hunkering up against the barn, trying to at least give a little cover. Maybe they're trying to bait the arty shots before going. There goes one. You can see it was primed to shoot in that area there. 42nd and 30th going in. I think they're just trying to bait a lot of the shots. Union already going up and over on top, trying to get flanking shots and collapse on CSA rear to get the flags. And here we go again. So this is a little fascinating by Union. CSA saw it and they stopped with a regiment or so. So PB and HL there, at least mostly PB there, they're going to get beat there. So that's not something you want if you're Union, and CSA is getting a firm hold. That Union flank in the field ending is really allowing CSA just to focus on one front from the Union attacks, and they're actually holding strong here. They force Union to engage. Union starting to drop through engage. Tickets definitely getting a little closer. It actually looks like CSA might be able to hold the stone wall here, which early capping would not be the worst thing in the world for them. Look at those bodies. Oh my goodness. And actually CSA is getting really thinned out here. Leyland and Doug there with those pistols definitely helped with that. My goodness. It looked bad for Union for a second, but man, that flipped a little too fast. And Churchill here, he's got to watch out with that flag. Here comes Union counterattack. You want to get the flags if you're Union, but you don't want CSA sitting up here. That's why they pushed him out there. Makes sense. It's like any map. If a defender or your attacker rather is in your flank or in your rear, it's best either to reform if possible in a new defensive spot that makes sense. But most of the time, these maps are too small to really do that. So you got to charge them out. It's really the only option. So nice arty shot there. Got a flag. That one. I don't know why CSA flag's running up here. 42nd. Actually, it's a mix of guys. I don't know if they're running up to try to get flags, but they're bringing a flag up. Someone did not communicate that this charge was over.
Get up there, get up there. Shoot your shots, shoot your shots. Take a step back and fire.
Yeah, I don't know why they're rushing up. I mean, the tickets overall got closer in the charge, but you're just trickling in now. And Union's going to get a nice skirmishing on out-of-line deaths, which are going to result in your team losing a lot more. Oh, there, you got more. Oh, maybe CSA's going in. Maybe that wasn't a miscommunication. I'm surprised CSA is just trickling in like this. That's not going to work in any regard unless it's really close, but by this point it's not. But, you know, Fog of War will do that to you. And you can see CSA just charging across the open orchard with no bayonets. They're just trying to get back into the fight. And it looks like you got more grouped up CSA pushing up, so maybe they're trying to see a relentless assault. If that'll break through, but Union main spawns closer, and they have all their 4 flags up in the middle of this combat. CSA didn't have all their flags up at the same time, and their main spawn's far away, so it's definitely an option, trying something new. Union flank collapsing down to get flags. Already showing up as well.
On the fence.
CSA it's taken losses. Tickets a smidge closer than what they were after that initial push up from CSA.
Step back from the fence, step back, step back. Keep up the fight, keep up the fight!
So Yin's going to hold that, and they're going to counter-charge. I mean, if they can get the flags down up here, that would be huge for them.
Get the flag, he's weak, one shot. Nice. Press T, press T.
So that's 3 CSA flag, 4 maybe. 4 down CSA flags. So if CSA guy dies, he has to go back at main. So if Union can prevent those flags from being picked up by shooting Rambos that trickle up to get it, that'd probably be a great idea. So again, tickets slightly closer. So I mean, I don't know if CSA thought they won the corner or they wanted to trickle and charge, but that didn't really change the result of this round by too much. But man, I can't imagine what this map's like on a 350, 400 man server. They definitely need to make the maps a little bigger, and they need to make sense when they do it. Because, for example, we've asked for maps in the past, and we got new maps, and those maps sometimes don't make sense. So, yeah. I mean, the drill camp maps, they're nice to have. It's nice to at least play on a different part of the battlefield. Sure, it's one we've seen in the past, because drill camp's been, that mode has been out for a long time, but we haven't had like a skirmish mode on it per se. So, I mean, it's nice to fight over a new area on the battlefield, but I don't think the map designs were as good as they could have been. So, but I mean, we're going to watch around next map, so watch a round of Stefan's lot.
Right side of the tree line. That's right.
PB about face with the star. Moving out with HL.
So you wonder what CSA is going to do next. They might try to charge up on this far side, which Union's got a gun up there. They actually broke the fence, which could be maybe be helpful for the CSA side. You almost wonder is, I don't know about this barn so much, but it'd be a little neat if CSA, let's see. CSA arty spot right here would be pretty neat, I would think. Yeah, I mean, this would not be a terrible spot for CSA artillery. I mean, they get a clear line of the Union defense. I mean, maybe CSA artillery. Probably not. See, if they're going to put artillery in certain spots, like they should make sense. It's like the conquest contention maps and the drill camp skirmish maps, artillery is there just so they could say artillery is there, which is not good.
Hey, Redcoat. We are the Iron Brigade Flag Retrieval Service. Almost every single flag up is held by an Iron Brigade.
Штурмовая колонна. Да ну что это за куча боевая, блядь?
Куча.
Charge bayonet, boys! Charge bayonet! We're about to go!
Проверить штыки и зарядку.
Let's go, Chase! Go, go!
Here we go.
Imperial Guard forward!
And artillery missing a little bit there. Comes some more.
Think of your homes, lad.
And CSA just trying to cram in the middle. Union starting to respond already, moving down. You can still see the pile of bodies there. Union not flanking in the open field because of what happened last time with CSA responding well to it. So good change there from Union. Union actually keeping a fair amount of guys down here. That's PB and HL. Looks like they've shifted their roles a little bit, and they're going to get nice flanking shots. However, CSA might take advantage of this, going out into the open field, getting on the Union right. And it looks like Union's held very effectively this time. And Irish going down there with his officer. And now HLPB charging up the center. Bus in front. And bus dies. And Union has taken losses, but this ticket gap has grown in Union's favor. It's almost a 2/3 of morale stage difference right now. At AVC, I don't know what you guys are doing back here. I mean, sure, 5 guys is not going to make a whole lot of difference in a charge, but it's the principle that counts. So, Union gets 1, maybe 3 flags down. You know what would be a little funny? Side note. These are beehives. That'd be really funny if you could die if you walked by them. I'll also note, why are these holes plugged here?
I'd rather stick my dick in these
Interesting.
play this round.
It's also like this house over here. It's like the basement entrance. I mean, wait for the camera to kind of adjust to the darkness, but I mean, oh, this actually doesn't look as bad as I remember. Huh. Did they fix this? That looks different. I swear it used to be where you'd walk in here and there'd be like just a big like dirt thing in here and it just looked bad. Huh. That'd be pretty neat if they... I wonder if you can open these doors and go inside. Because they actually made it pretty nice. I think you can. Probably? I really want to spawn in now and do that. Go to the right, Mace. Go to the right. Go to the right. No, no. Oh. No! He went up. Oh, well. Anyways, CSA looking to change their strategy up, which I can appreciate. Something's not working, changing it up. Doesn't mean it'll necessarily work per se. However, you know, it's not doing the same old losing thing. So they're going to try to go down the other side. Union should have plenty of notice, mostly because they've got skirmishers, being First Delaware on this front. Union hasn't really responded yet. I don't see him. Oh, bus sees him now. So a lot of the CSA shots, Union starting to react to it. A lot of Union up top, kind of maybe being a little hesitant. Now they're starting to move. Here we go.
Get a flag up, get a flag up.
CSA needs to defeat the Union in detail before the Union can group up. I assume CSA is bucking ball, which should help. And here comes Union down the roadside. Mind you, Union's still on point, even though they're all the way up here. Union already getting a nice little shot in there as well. Union taking their shots and now going in.
You want some, do you? You fucking want some as well? Who's fucking next? Who's fucking next?
And that charge is pretty something. Why is CSA splitting up here? I guess they have some charging center, which, I mean, makes a little sense, but I don't know why DB's joining this affair a little late.
Wise man once told me I have
And now FSB's going. I don't know why DB and FSB went into this all very late. It's it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. It's like, I feel like if CSA is going to do this right, we saw CSA push up here and charge in with no flags. So, essentially, an idea CSA could do is just bonsai charge all their guys over here, but bring their flags all the way over here, reform up here and bring Debrief Lane and charge up here. Because if Union is all condensed down here, you know, you have your flag spawning guys on the other side, they could rush up perhaps. I mean, you might get a chance. But I feel like if the maps are going to stay as tiny as they are with these high pops, you have to deceive the defenders. But it's a little bit of an unfortunate thing that you could do most things right as an attacker, but it's getting to a point where some of these maps, the defenders have to make mistakes for you to win. Which, I don't know if that's necessarily a way that I'd want to win. I mean, right, even if a map was fair, people can make mistakes and you can still win off of that, but some maps, you don't need a defender to make a mistake. Like, you can just play so well that you can win. But it feels like some of these maps at this point, you have to... Yeah, your opponent has to make, like, bad mistakes. High Street, Garland Stand, River Crossing. I said it right, I think. It's a lot of the Harper's maps, like Downtown, Shenandoah Street. Although, I could argue Shenandoah Street's more even than it appears. But we'd have to watch that map. That's the thing. I haven't seen Maryland Heights either in a long time. And I mean, CSA just has to win one charge, and they normally do on that map. So, I don't know. The balancing of this game needs to be fixed. And that's what the devs said they're going to do for their next update. However, I unfortunately just think they're going to do a one-and-done fix change. They might do more changes going forward, which I think they should do, like, monthly... Cheeseburger. Which, cheeseburger. I think they need to do monthly balance fixes to the maps. Like, even if it's just tiny tweaks. It would at least show people that you're still working on the game, and among other things, right? It's a very simple change. I don't know how long it takes, but I think that alongside the ticket balances of the next update, they mentioned the company tool being used, the new one, which I think for the most part is a waste of time. Which, for those of you who don't know what it is, the devs said they want to do a company tool where it's going to, it's a same concept as the old one where you could like make regiments and join it, right? But it's going to do a lot more than that, which I don't know all the specifics, but I do know it's going to keep track of every War of Rights match ever played, and it'll allow the developers to see, like, oh, this map needs to be balanced, for example. So, for the most part, I think it's a waste of time. I do think seeing how the maps are, like every match of War of Rights is a good thing, but I feel like if you watch enough War of Rights matches, or even play this game long enough, you can kind of realize where the game needs fixing. So, I don't know. I think it's a waste of manpower and resources, but that's just my opinion on it. I mean, we'll see what happens when it comes out. CSA's starting to push up far Union right. This ain't everybody. A lot are still holding behind the barn. Again, they're doing the late thing. I think they're trying to draw Union up and then push center. But I wish they didn't bring the flags up over here. As you can see, for the most part, most of Union is collapsed up here. They're gonna hold this charge really easily because they simply just outnumber. And then what happens at this point is once Union wins this in a second, they're gonna realize, oh crap, CSA's charging here, and they're gonna collapse in on their side as well. And CSA is not really gonna be able to hold, assuming Union moves fast, which they're starting to. Like, I wish those two CSA flags were down here in the center, so that everyone on the CSA team could start spawning down here. But maybe you need the flags to sell it, who knows. Union hits breaking, though. CSA can cap and win, which here come the rest of the Union from the top side of the hill. Yeah, here comes the flank. So, Union's going to hold that. CSA maybe feeling the window there are pushing up, but that window's now gone. So...
Move back. Pull off 11. Yeah, let's go. Pull 11. Let's stay on
So, again, CSA can cap and win at this point. They're just moving forward. Another thing, too, is actually it looks like those flags died out of bounds, potentially, which means CSA will get them back. But it looks like Union's backing off a little bit here. Some are, some aren't. A little confusing as CSA trickles up. They're going to hit final push, and that's going to drop that black timer to a few minutes left.
Give these cowards hell!
Get these tickets, guys. Get these tickets. Here they come. Kill them.
I don't know why Union backed off just to now collapse back in. I don't know if they thought the CSA was up there. They're trying to hold back in their original spots, but I don't get the go back up and down, because now you can see CSA's kind of got a foothold here. Not a big one. Nice shot, Artie. The final push, clock goes down to 2.5 minutes. And Union's going to hold another charge. CSA infinite tickets, limited time. Not infinite tickets per se, but they can just spawn in as many times as they want. So, yeah. I mean, Union played a pretty good round. CSA, I think there were 2 charges in this game, or 2 instances where they lost a lot of tickets that first. Like push up to independent fire from the defilade there, like that just clearly can't work for CSA anymore. That's something that just can't be done going forward, I think, in this map for CSA. Non-stop charging in, changing up where you charge, I think that can definitely help with the tickets, but part of it too is there's only a limited places you can charge. If you keep charging on the same place, artillery's going to dome you. But the Artie today for Union has actually done a really good job. It's a mix of groups, HL, CQB, 12th VA. It's a mix, but I mean they're cooking. But this is one of the maps that you could argue needs maybe some more CSA tickets or less Union tickets. Not by a whole lot, though. Not by a significant margin. Like maybe 30-35%. Or sorry, maybe CSA needs like a 50-55% ticket advantage on this map, something like that. I mean, that's only a 6 to 10% boost in tickets to the attackers, but that could make this map a lot more even. And that, I mean, making maps a lot more even would make this game a lot more enjoyable. Because we would see a lot more maps, and we're not playing the same maps over and over again. But
How many lost
So, dominant Union or CSA campaign victory. They're saying it ends today because, remember, I think Union campaign's got 1 token. But they have a lot of manpower still on that token. So, unless the USA campaign surrenders after today, then, yeah, a similar thing this week will probably take place next week, most likely. So, we'll see, though. But regardless, it's close to the end of the season, per I've been told. And it looks like, I mean, CSA has been dominating for the past, month and a half, 2 months. And it's deserving. So, yeah, good first round from Union or CSA campaign side. They played this map textbook. And I like that the Union campaign on CSA, they changed up their plan. And they tried different things. Because in the end, if something doesn't work, you got to try something else. So, look at that casualty mark, too. Holy crap. Maybe it will end today. Who knows? All right, off to our second round of Stefan's Lot Fun round. Remember, sides are going to flip. We'll see you there in a second. And here we are with our second round, Stefan's Lot. So the sides have switched. So USA campaign's back on Union and CSA campaign is back on the CSA side. Didn't start off right away at 45 because it's a long freaking map. It's the CSA's Hooker's Push. I mean, CSA spawn is at center of my screen. And I mean, it's been 3.5 minutes and most of the team's not even there. So, I don't know the ticket imbalance of this map. Is the chart made for that was made before these maps were released. However, we do know the weapons. Union defense is the 14th, Brooklyn with the Enfield, and the 9th, Vermont, which also has the Enfield. CSA side, on the other hand, both regiments have the same weapons. 4th Texas and the 56th Virginia have the option of the Springfield 55, the Enfield, and the Springfield 42. So, this map has been tremendously CSA biased in the past, and there's no reason to see why that would change today. Now, CSA, they like to go up this corn side, and the thing is, this point of contention, mind you, is right here. I'm pretty sure it's really tiny around this area, but CSA, they can push heavily up to this side, which looks like they're doing. From here, they can push up through this open field, which, again, is slightly deflated, similar to what we saw last round, and then they can just push up through the woods and cause chaos. CSA has buck and ball, Union does not. So, CSA is going to run into this wood line with buck and ball and shotguns, and Union just can't really do anything about it. That's why you see them kind of backing up already. You'll also see CSA sometimes like to push over this side, and it's just to take out the Union artillery, and they can also kind of get into a shootout with the Union. They do kind of have like a little trench line here, a tiny one at that, but they could kind of shoot, but Union can just kind of huddle down where they're at. So going this side, outside of charging artillery, and maybe having a little more of an open field access to the point. I mean, that's really the only times you want to see CSA really going over there. But normally, you'll see CSA push up this side. Now, the issue for Union, right, is they can't retreat. Because if they want to fall back, anywhere they go is open field. And trying to take this woods with CSA, who has shotguns, is going to be ridiculously difficult. Union main spawn, mind you, is right here. They can't go into the corn at all, the turtle, because, well, I guess some of it's in bounds. But the issue is, if Union loses the woods, they'll have to take it back and charge at people with shotguns. That is not going to be an easy thing to do. So, we'll see what happens. Of course, Union can kind of get off to this east side of the hill here, which you can see Union is kind of doing, backing off a little bit, trying to keep their distance to CSA, who's slowly inching their way forward up the center. Looking at our balance quickly here, 260 in balance is 9 right now towards the Union side. Union has 1 artillery just taking the officer. CSA, on the other hand, has 7. So the infantry in balance right now is 16 in favor of the Union side, and they need that infantry in balance. That is definitely something needed. CSA pushing up 42nd and 30th Ohio, pushing up here. And Union should be able to easily hold that. Actually, it actually looks like they did not switch sides. Which, I might have read that wrong on the chord sheet. Oh well. So, with this all being said, yeah. There we go. Frontline reporter should be correct now, but oh well. So regardless, nothing else changes with this match. Tickets are surprisingly fairly even. Looks like some of the CSA have shifted forward here. DB is kind of holding down on the bottom side, taking shots up, but Union's got a fair amount of cover here. Union kind of deflating themselves along Mississippi here. Take some shots there at DB, who's now pulling off. So I think this is one of those maps of CSA where you just have to be aggressive. Don't get into a shootout with the Union. You have the advantage with your weapons, so might as well use that advantage to its maximum capacity. So if I were CSA on this map, I would just group up and charge straight in. No really other way to play that, in my opinion. But CSA starting to move up again, trying to take this little spot here. IB, 9th Corps up here, Midwest Brigade. The mix of them.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, alright, fine.
Shift it further right, gentlemen. Shift it further
But I mean, CSA still has all their flags, which honestly, that's really the only shot you. Why are some of the CSA spawning back at me? That's really the. Oh, I guess their flag was down until a moment ago. Never mind. So that's the only way Union has a shot at winning this map, is trying to play for time. And how do you do that? Is you get the CSA flags down, because if you get them all down, they can't spawn in over here, which means they got to spawn at main, and they're out of the fight for 4 or 5 minutes. And that's a long time. And, if you do that a few times, you can. Nice volley from Union. But if you do that a couple times, you can shake out a large portion of the attacking time for the CSA.
Yeah, me too. I need to watch it. Via la Barca.
Fuck you. A la Madrid. I'll shoot you, huh?
No, fuck you. Via la Barca.
So, yeah, but CSA's kind of turning this into a shooting match. Which, I mean...
Keen eyes, man. Keen eyes.
You want to aim in the stomach cards. Stomach cards.
Oh, I'm back. Continue fire, one man spacing.
Trying to see if they have bucket. I know you can figure out if you look at the guns if they have bucket ball or not. It's like the sight or something like that. For if they have it. That's what I remember at least being told. Which I just asked. Which, that's why I'm trying to send a message to someone asking if that's the case. Because I'd be very surprised if CSA was taking or not taking bucket ball.
Did Dragon die? Ah, that's what you get for being a Ralph, man.
That's, that surprises me a lot because, I mean, they're starting to push up a little more, but the advantage of the CSA on this map is that they don't have to go across a large open field to get up into the Union defensive positions, and they have shotguns. So if they're not all taking the 42, I don't know why they aren't. If you want to win by shooting out your opponent, you should not take the 42, arguably. I still think I would, but you hear people arguing otherwise. Just because those pellets don't kill past the 33 yards, and also the drop of the Springfield 42 shot, it's much more present than your rifle. But that's why some people will argue that it shouldn't be done at long range, but I still think it's good. You just got to aim a little higher, which takes some practice, and then on top of that too, those pellets, they can wound someone, which one suppresses them, but when you have more of those pellets going by, you're going to suppress more people, and then that pellet on top of the suppressing thing and making their screen show red. If you wound them a little bit and get into a melee, they're 1 stab compared to 2 stab.
Keep it up, everyone.
So, I was told the guy I was zooming in a few minutes ago, he was holding an Enfield, but someone else was holding the a 42, which, if I'm pretty sure it's because of the sight thing or whatever. Like, if there's a huge site, then it's an Enfield, but if there is a tiny / non-existent one, then... Oh. This is why you need to learn history, people. So when you commentate a War of Rights match, you can tell that stuff off the rip. So, with this all being said, tickets are still fairly close. I don't know why CSA is being so hesitant. It's just... So, yeah, I just don't get it. You have an advantage. Why not use it? Because the moment CSA pushes the Union out of the woods, or gets into the woods, it's gonna be havoc for the Union side. Union actually making a really aggressive push here. CQB. They've got a lot of manpower, so they can kind of bully their opponents around if they want. It looks like they're trying to get a flank, especially since CSA get a lot in the center.
Load. Break your loads. Up and over.
There's full unit in the corner, gentlemen.
And I don't know how far they're going to push forward. This could be a little advantage for CSA, because if CSA just turns in and hits CQB right away, could be a nice chance to get some tickets. But CQB, if they're looking good enough, they could just fall back. Reaction most of the time, right? Yeah, look at they saw when they're leaving. That's the thing. A lot of plans come down to how fast you react in this game to things, and that can determine the result. Sometimes a great plan as a defense can just have poor reaction time, and then you won't win. So.
Yeah, we're bringing them right to him. Turn and face.
So, Union now countercharging the CSA who pushed themselves out, kind of spread out. I guess, too, it's huge imbalance. I mean, that's 2 CSA flags down. This is kind of the stuff that you would want if you're Union side. Now you got some more CSA trickling out, and Union's trying to charge them out now, maybe get more flags. CSA hits engaged first. And now Union hits engaged as well. So, I mean, CSA's not doing terrible. I want to look at that numbers balance again, because it really feels like Union outnumbers CSA by a whole lot. And that was the case we were looking at the beginning of the round. You got some more CSA FSB pushing out. I think they're just rushing out maybe to get some shots off. More importantly, get those flags back. But, I mean, what are we? It's, I mean, it's a 9-man, 16-man infantry imbalance. So, I mean, it's still roughly where we're at.
Pull back. Just go back.
And so now CSA is going to spend a few minutes to reform here. I mean, they do have, I think that's DB out there shooting.
Oh my god, they're deeper in the corner. Yeah, everyone's my.
I think they got the Bugle Boys.
Oh my. Down. Deeper into the corn. I'm calling you sweet meat. Alright.
So yeah, that's good for Union, because, you know, they got a good wipe there on the CSA. They're going to be able to kill a little bit of time on CSA, and that's something if you need as Union. You need to play the time game here. I think CSA might be playing a little hesitant because they don't have even numbers, especially infantry-wise, which 15 men can definitely make that bucket ball imbalance potentially go away.
Right ahead. End up at a fire. Do not go too far.
But that almost makes me think that CSA should just go straight in. Because if they try to get into a shootout with the Union, they're not going to win that in any aspect, right? Sure, they're going to be able to respawn and hold positions because the flags can spawn guys in really fast, a guy every 5 seconds, but you might still be losing that shootout as a whole. CSA moves up again. I mean, yeah. Union's got the better shooting weapons than the CSA objectively. And CSA's down infantry guys, so CSA can't afford to do a shootout. Now, they have been doing a shootout, and they're keeping tickets even, which in the end is really the only thing that matters. But I don't get why you wouldn't just go up and in on the Union and try to use that buck and ball, which is really, really good close range, which is maybe what CSA's doing. You know, they're trying to have a short shootout to make sure that buck and ball does better.
Shift to the right, back on the rocks.
But not necessarily charge in, because they're like, well, we're outnumbered by a lot of guys. We don't want to go in and get wiped in a charge like that and lose our flag. So I think they're trying to play middle ground. So CSA moving up. I don't think they're on point there. They got to move up to those rocks there. Not that they're trying to cap. It's more just visualizing where the point is, per se. I wish spectators had an option to do that, which would be pretty neat. But I mean, overall, Union's played the round well, all things considered. They've played kind of they've kind of turtled in about the best places you can, right? They're not overextending over on this side, so they're in the open. They're kind of using this crest of the hill, deflating here to their advantage, forcing CSA to kind of get up and get a little closer, which maybe could work in CSA's advantage. But over here, Union is really turtling kind of in a back area. It allows Union to spread out, so the concentrated CSA fire can't kill them all, but Union is still out in cover for the most part, so I don't know. But wow, looks like Union actually charged CSA out up here. What the heck? I don't know if CSA's not taking bucketball or what. It's just, I don't know, even if I was outnumbered, I feel like CSA would just all spawn in with bucketball and bonsai charge up here. Flag's got to watch out. Now you got IB pushing up. Also, CSA pushing up groups on top of this hill independently. I'm a little confused by that because you just saw Union charge one of your friendly groups. I don't know why you're going up with another smaller, not a small group per se, but Union's definitely going to outnumber you in this general vicinity. I mean, maybe CSA's trying to bait the Union out into the open a little bit to get better shots on them. Who knows? I mean, in the end, despite all my complaining, they're getting their tickets down at a okay pace. So you can't really complain about it in the end. But obviously, if you're CSA, you want to keep that pace up because you don't want to get into a time crunch at the end of the round. IB pushing up a little closer. They're now charging. No, they're not. Yes, they are. They're the only ones going in. Comes Midwest. I mean, there's more CS. Why are only 2 regiments of the CSA side charging in? This is a little confusing. It just seems like communication's kind of broken down on their side, or maybe this is their plan. I don't know. I mean, some Union guys incorrectly are charging out here at the CSA. Now we got a lot more CSA presence up here. And the thing is, too, I mean, not that CSA knows this per se, but Union has a lot holding back. So maybe CSA could pick apart the Union if they win it together, but they're not. Now you got 9th Corps going in and DB.
DB hold.
Right.
But you can kind of see CSA, at least over here, in a sense, kind of smartly keeping their flags back so they don't lose them. Because if they lose the flags, right, you got to spawn all the way back at main. But if CS... Oh, I guess they're moving up now. I mean, with the flags, right, if you want to take ground, you have to push the flags up to take ground in this game. If you don't want to take ground, as an attacker anyways, there's no really huge reason to push your flag up per se. I guess when I'm talking about charging per se, but when you're sitting and shooting, I guess that changes a little bit. So CSA condenses down in the open field here. Trying to use these rocks as cover. Not a whole lot on these outside rocks here. But at least, I think CSA is just trying to get a little closer. I mean, I guess I can't assume they have buck and bow, but... But Union slightly down on tickets here. You got Union shifting out over this side. They better just be taking shots. I don't like this from Union. Unless they're trying to force them out of the ground, but if you're trying to force CSA out of those positions right there, I don't know why your whole team isn't kind of doing a similar thing. I mean, you do kind of see Union spreading out a little bit, trying to kind of get CSA into a box and shoot them down, which is not a bad idea. Only concern, right, is by Union pushing out like this, they are increasing the casualty amount, which you've played really good on time so far, but maybe they're like, we can take the flags out and then kill, you know, a few more minutes on the clock and not take casualties while CSA is reforming. And looks like the pincer works. CSA is going to back off. At least some of the flags are backing off. Maybe they're just moving around to try to get a flank. Which it looks like that's what they're probably doing, especially since you got the rest of CSA sitting here. Both sides about to drop and taking losses. And they didn't go out for a true flank. I mean, you do have some CSA over there flanking, not a considerable amount to be worried about, per se, if you're Union. And Union drops first, so I guess in between this and the last stage, CSA's gained a little bit on that ticket. Because they were a little down on tickets, but now they're up. So it's getting a little better for them in a sense, but I mean, you want to hit the defenders that taking losses by 20, so they're still at a good pace. I mean, Union overall, one of the ways you win some of these biased maps if you're a defender, like Cook's Countercharge, for example, is one of the conditions is the attacker not be aggressive. So Union has that, and they can definitely play this game close. I mean, right now, right, you're thinking defenders, they've got 2 more stages till they hit last stand and they can't respawn. So you reckon Union's going to hit last stand at about 2 minutes if we keep the current pace, maybe a minute left. Which, things can get a little dicey at that point. So, I still think CSA's got to try to pick up the pace a little bit on tickets. Union's played a pretty dang good round. I don't really think Union needs to change up their strategy right now.
I will try. I will try.
They might fire at you more than they fire at my boys.
Well, they've retreated, so...
I've survived the entire encounter so far. I am a hero.
Got CSA starting to push up center here, back up to these rocks. 42nd and 30th pushing up this way. So there goes CSA. Oh no, this is probably the most conservative match from an attacker that I've seen on this map. Which, let's see, FSB is trying to go in for a little flank on 11 Mississippi as they're distracted with some other CSA.
Boys, look to your east.
You're getting charged on your right. Watch your right, boys.
Behind.
One many of them, boys. Don't freak out.
CSA groups have charged in independently this whole round. I kind of don't understand that. Unless they're just trying to get a couple kills while keeping their flags up and up. Maybe that could be a, who knows.
Пусты, блядь, я вижу только пусты. Ну, значит, уничтожь нахуй эти пусты.
Давай на подавление туда, вон они, блядь.
Можете вперед продвинуть, соответственно.
Не, опасно, опасно.
Make be sure to bugger low.
Why am I spawning
Make sure you
the front?
72 big booty. Boys. Best and best. Huh?
Мы их хорошо в мешок зажали огневой.
What? What? No.
What the heck? This is a heck of a flank from 1st Kentucky. I mean, they do have some nice shots here, but CSA just knocking at the doorstep. We might have a little charge going on here. HL's going into 9th Corps Midwest Brigade, 1st Brigade, which this is going to be a good charge for CSA. Tickets starting to drop. Intake and losses for the Union side. At least that bar is visually moving down now. Which, it's a good little wipe there from 1st Brigade guys. You got a couple more AVC guys going up center on their own. Lotion is running around. Only with the flag and like 2 other guys. Is this all they could afford to bring? Interesting. Oh. Huh. I mean, that's a free flag there for Union to take. I don't know. Yeah. And that's a down flag for CSA. Oh my flank. Hello there. Yep, CQB with flanking shots and now going right in there.
Start running.
Again, they're trying to play for time, so I think they're trying to get the flags if possible. Especially since tickets are still fairly even. As a defender, you want a third to a half a morale stage in this game, generally. CSA countercharge. Back.
11th Mississippi charge.
Yeah, 11 Mississippi moving in. You can hear them loud and proud. You can see those CSA flags back there. If you can get them, that'd be huge.
Get up, get up, get up.
That's 1. Well, technically 2.
God damn it.
3. 2. 3. 4. That's huge for Union. Now, if I'm Union, right? So this is kind of like Cooker's Push in a sense. These flags have a 5-minute despawn timer on it. So at the 5-minute mark, they'll despawn and then they could spawn back in. But up until then, the other team can't use them to spawn in guys. So if I'm Union, I aggressively hold up here. At least hold a half your team over here, or a third. With some of these rocks, you don't want to give these flags back to the CSA, because what's going to happen, right, is, oh, I guess they're aggressively pursuing 1st Kentucky. I'm going to say this in a second. Let's watch this.
Jerry, that better not be you.
I wanted to meet you. What is your name before we kill you? What is your
No.
name before we kill you?
Come back here.
My name is
What is your
Owens.
name?
Oh my god. You can't
Come
catch me.
back.
You can't catch me. You can't catch me.
Don't
You
fucking
can't
stab
catch
me,
me.
you.
You can't catch me.
I write a letter to your
can.
mom. I'm so sorry. Who the fuck kicked me?
Rude sign.
No! Well, at least you died, Al. And he died.
So, the thing with this map, it's a 5-minute despawn timer, right? It's going to take 3.5, 4 minutes for CSA to get all the way over here. So roughly by the time CSA gets back up here, those flags are about to despawn. And then once CSA actually gets up here and Union holds this for a minute or so, these flags will despawn. And then most of the CSA, they're going to be without a flag up here for, you know, a total of like 8.5 minutes. So I really think Union needs to defend these flags. If those flags despawn, that's going to be a huge win for the Union side. You don't want CSA running up and picking those flags up again. But Yeah, I mean, honestly, if Union does that, their chance of winning shoots up a lot.
Oh, you can.
Yeah, yeah. That's how we speak in everyday conversation.
Yes, of course. But you know, I was thinking about the Pacific.
There's also another thing too, right? Is if CSA doesn't, oh, they're gonna get the flags. This is a huge mistake from Union. I mean, they got a couple brave lads trying to defend it, but oh, you had to hit that Irish. Oh, another missed one. Another missed one. Ah, this hurts. Oh, what is the flag doing? Why is he running towards the Union guy? Someone gets him. Yeah, I know. Oh, man. I mean, one of these flags is going to despawn back there. These two might. This one, someone's going to pick that up. When someone picks it up, it dies. That 5-minute respawn, despawn timer restarts. CSA needs to run up and pick these flags. I don't know why they're trying to shoot from a distance. Because if those flags despawn, they're not getting them into action for another, 3.5, 4 minutes. Man, this is a mistake from Union. Oh, he's going for the longer one. Well, that's 2 flags they saved, although... Oh. Ah, come on. Both sides are not playing this well. Someone needs to get that flag for CSA. I think someone's going to get it. 9th Corps Midwest Brigade, and they're going to run over it.
Got a flag, pick it up!
Yeah. That's a mistake from Union. I know they want to hide back and hunker down. You know you're trying to play for time. You don't want to push out that far to engage with CSA, but you have all their flags down. So it's not like they can get respawns in any type of engagement. If you kill someone, they got to spawn back at main. So I think that's a big mistake from Union. I think that is a necessary ticket loss. I mean, for all we know, they could pull it out, and I mean, there's still a good chance Union could win this, but obviously you want the highest possible chance you can have. Because again, following the ticket loss for a defender as an attacker, at the latest you want to get the defenders down to breaking by the 10-minute mark, which we probably won't see defenders hit breaking until the 9-minute mark unless we see a charge here.
I hope you know that.
Да похуй, на нас цена. Давайте, ребята.
DV pushes up. You also got IB pushing up to their right. CSA might actually drop first to breaking. A lot of Union are circling around here. Looks like that flag is despawned, so... And CSA only has 3 of their flags. Why is there a flag for CSA running up all the way over here? CQB is going to eat these guys up. Now CQB is going to rush up, and they might do a similar thing as earlier. You got some Union flanking around the far CSA right. They're going to have great shots into the side. CSA drop first. Got one more CSA group moving up, which flag bearers should be running in from over there.
Huzzah! Huzzah, boys! Doing great.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! Huzzah! At the bar.
So Union pushing up on the far CSA right. Actually had some CSA going in here, which Union's going to hold that. Again, only one group for CSA went in, and then the rest backed off. Granted, CQB popped up and took some shots, but it's like, I don't know why CSA is only going in together, and now 11 Mississippi is countercharging here, trying to get a flag down. Are they going to keep going?
Surrender! Surrender!
Ah, they have a shot at getting all 4 flags again. CQB pushing out, trying to cut them off here. CSA doesn't see him because they're in the trench. And there's only one way they can run is to the west. That's one down. Which they might be able to get it back. So that's what? 2 CSA flags down right now. You got 2 more here. Which they should be able to get out. But that's huge. Union hits breaking at 8 minutes. And this is looking real good for Union. Now, let's just look at our lovely thing. It looks like it's gotten a little better. It's 14 infantry in balance. And when unfortunately we haven't seen CSA already do a whole lot this round. So, like, are you kidding me? They're all in the open field and you shoot there. So, again, Union, I think they should have done up there last time, but they've got 2 flags down. If either of these flags despawn, it's not going to be in the fight for the rest of this game. I mean, they're going to despawn in about 3-ish minutes, 3.5 minutes. So, I mean, if Union can hold them down, CSA is probably not going to get them up into the line for the rest of this round. I assume CSA is going to get them back, though. Especially since Union let the CSA get all 4 of those flags. I don't know if I've seen Union win this. Let me look. I want to clarify on that.
Guys, keep that spacing.
I mean, how many times?
Then get your gates.
Seen this map apparently 5 times.
Oh, they spread it out left a bit.
Hold firm, maybe. Hold firm.
Alright, let's see here. The first video I have in Stefan's lot, the playlist, it's not Stefan's lot.
There's a couple of them down on that fence line.
Let's see, alright. Alright, I've seen it 4 times apparently. That's 1 CSA win.
Yeah, I see you.
You want south.
I believe in you, Orbis. Yeah.
It's 2 CSA wins.
Hold fire, as soon as you load, hold fire.
Load, hold.
3 CSA wins.
Moving up, gentlemen, moving up.
And then let's take a look. Even on day 1 when this map was released, CSA won it. Which I guess, yeah. So, I mean, I've seen this 4 times, and every time CSA's won, and it hasn't been remotely close. So Union might pull off something here. And I mean, obviously, you're going to point to this imbalance, at least the infantry imbalance. In terms of the overall imbalance, it was reasonable. But the fact that CSA had a lot of guys on artillery and they didn't pull their weight definitely does not help. Now, honestly, they should have just ran up and taken these guns, considering Union's not even defending them. But again, CSA could cap and win at this point. Union isn't breaking, and they're starting to get aggressive. Midwest Brigade and 9th Corps going in right away, but yet their friendlies are sitting there and shooting. There is a disconnect. I don't know what CSA is planning with this. Now you got more CSA on the other side charging in. It's also mistiming here. Like, all CSA needs to go in together, not independently, because Union's going to be able to respond to everything individually. It's like if you're dealing with problems in life or just anything in general, if they pop up one at a time, right? It's a lot easier to manage than if everything hops at you at the same time. So, Union holds that. CSA shifting more towards the center. I think they're just trying to set themselves up by the point. Again, these rocks, I'm sure, are not on point. Not like there's a lot of them right now. However, 3.5 minutes.
nice. Oh, break those low.
And TSA starting to move up on point. They're not going to be able to get Union down the last stand unless they charge all game. They need to cap point while they're in breaking, so they got to win it wholeheartedly, and that's definitely possible, assuming they've got buck and ball, which TSA is really spread out. Again, kind of a disconnect. Union might be able to take advantage of this by defeating the smaller chunks in detail. And now you got a CSA flag up with a small group. That's going to go down there to 11 Mississippi. That's a huge wipe for Union. Here comes CQB collapsing on the flank. One flag running off to nobody. 2.5 minutes. Final push. Clock doesn't drop. If the black timer is above the amount of time it takes for the attackers to get from their main spawn to point 2 times without bandits or reloads, it won't drop at all. Or it will drop if the black timer's above, but if it's below that, it won't drop. And here comes the rest of the Union to sweep up CSA, and that's going to be our round.
Brace. Counter charge.
But CSA is actually holding a little bit here. Union sending some more in. But Union is eventually going to overcome this situation. They get 2 CSA flags down, 3 in total. I guess there was a nice CSA already shot, but... yeah, I mean, if you want to argue that the infantry imbalance did it, for CSA you can argue that, but even then, CSA has not done what you've normally seen on this map, and maybe they did that because of the imbalance, but CSA has a lot of advantages on this map, and they just did not use a single one of them. I don't know, it's just a little confusing. And it also just looked like the communication from their side was not there, especially with a lot of groups going in independently in terms of charging. You had some groups going in, some groups going out, some just sitting and shooting. It's like there was no consistency with the attack from the CSA side or Union campaign. And so, I mean, props to at least the CSA campaign on CSA. They did, I mean, they really did everything you could do, which, frankly, for a Union playbook on this map is not that big, all things considered, right? You just got to hold in this back area of the hill, you know, play for time, and hope that CSA doesn't play aggressive, which they did not. It's like Cook's countercharge. It's a hard map to win if you're defending as Union, but it's definitely possible if the attackers just play really defensively. So I think this is more of a... it's not necessarily that the Union side or CSA campaign side did great. I mean, they played good, but it's more of the CSA campaign just playing not great. Pretty bad. So, with that all being said, good 2 rounds today. I mean, great 2 defenses this round from the CSA campaign. They really played that well, both rounds. I mean, again, when you're a defender, there's not a whole lot to do. You set up your initial defense where it makes sense, and then you react quickly, and that's what they did. They did exactly what they need to do, and yet they had to hope the attackers made mistakes, especially on the second map, and they did that. So, again, the second round was a fun round. First round was actually for the campaign, but regardless, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you want to support the channel more, go beneath the video and hit the join button. By doing so, you can get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment in the bottom of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. Besides that, though, we have our Discord, merch, X, Instagram, TikTok, and more in the description as well. There is also a Grand Campaign podcast, which was very funny to listen to. Again, as mentioned at the beginning, I'll link that in the description and have that in a pinned comment. But besides that, I appreciate you all. Could not do this without everyone. And I hope you all have a phenomenal rest of your night.